Follow us on Facebook at Off Script with Super E Podcast. Also follow us on Twitter at offscriptpod_1. Off Script with Super E recommends listener discretion, as these real but sometimes uncensored stories can be filled with mature content. Super E made the trip in from the frozen tundra.
Long trip, yes.
Long ass trip for Super E. Man,
I got to be honest. I'm getting a little bit teary-eyed. I just want to reach over. I want to hug you guys. I haven't seen you in so long.
I'm glad you said hug.
Oh, okay.
yeah, I thought he was going to sit there, but
A very special hug.
oh, it's good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. Well, I thought in the spirit of us being together, and this is like the holiday season, we'll say Christmas season.
Yeah.
Wanted to ask you and see what you think. Do you got any like holiday festive stories, tales for us?
Kind of like a happy Christmas, happy hooker story.
I mean, yeah. If you got one,
Yeah.
I think that'd be awesome.
I think I can pull a very Christmassy hooker event out of my head. Yes, this was Christmas time a few years ago. We were all sitting around. I think it was wives were calling in mad because they thought their husbands were getting in these publications and finding women to hook up with.
Say it isn't so.
Yeah, sex for money.
Yeah, it happens.
So, it's very slow, evening, and I'm just thumbing through things, and I'm like...
So was this like Christmas proper? Was this like Christmas Day?
No. I wasn't that big of a Scrooge.
Jason, was this Christmas proper?
Well,
No, this is about probably...
I've been reading a thesaurus
Yeah, okay.
That was awesome.
to get ready.
It was about a week and a half before Christmas, I believe.
Okay. About like now.
Yeah, about like now.
All right,
So we're sitting around, and it's like I'm thumbing through them, and I'm like, ugh, if I have to do this, I want one that seems, not dangerous and presentable. So I'm looking
was
through
that
there.
Something you would normally do? Would you like?
No, equal opportunity.
Yeah. Okay.
Didn't
Well,
matter.
You know what? Maybe we'll cover that in another show.
There you go.
Yeah.
Because I can think of some very unattractive ones that I had to deal with.
Excellent.
So, anyways, I'm thumbing through, and then I'm like, "Whoa, look at her with her happy little Santa Claus hat on, blonde hair, big smile, just looked as festivus for the rest of us.
For the rest of us.
Looked very festive. She looked very.
Did it scream ho ho ho?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like,
I was like, good.
There she is, right there. Santa Claus hat. I call her on the phone, and I'm reading down. Blah, blah, blah. She's 5'7", 110 pounds, blonde hair. Oh, and I'm like, okay, very, very good credentials.
Right.
So I call her on the phone, and we're going to see what her name was. We've already used the other name, Crystal, so we're going to go with a different name. Well, her name was Crystal, too.
Now,
so.
did you guys have like a secret phone in the office? Or did you have your own cell phone, department issued? How was this?
I think
Star 69?
I think
No pun intended?
we had a department issued phone.
Okay.
So they could call us back. It didn't matter.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So I call her on the phone, and she's like, hello. And I go, is this Crystal? And she goes, well, yes, it is. Who's this? I go, this is Ray. And she goes, well, Ray, what are you doing? Are you enjoying the Christmas season? I go, yes, I am. And I just stumbled across your picture of you in your Santa Claus hat, and you look unbelievably cute. And she goes, well, thank you, Ray. I really appreciate it. And I said, now, is this true? 120 pounds. Yes, that's all. That's true. And then as I was reading down, and I go, oh, I didn't see this. Now, what's this TS stand for? What does that mean? Because it says TS in 7 inches. She goes, Ray, do you not know what TS means? I go, no. That means transsexual, and the 7 inches is the size of my penis. And I'm like, oh.
Okay.
And then, of course, I'm giving the, okay, I'm not in the mood for this Christmas cheer, you know, and then everybody's going, because I have my hand over the phone where Crystal couldn't hear. Everybody's going, you're a giant pussy if you don't go. We're going to call you a pussy. If you do not go, poor old Crystal and the 7 inches,
Yeah.
you got to go. And I'm like,
You're going to break her heart.
they shamed me into it. Yeah, I didn't want to break her heart. Yeah. So I go, yes, Crystal, I will see you here. I go, where do you live at? And she goes, I live at this address. And it was just near where, you know, it wasn't that far away from where I was calling from.
Handy.
Yes, so to speak.
Okay.
And so I got my backup. She goes up there with me, and I said, okay, I'm going to be in here a little bit.
So you took a female detective with you?
Yes, she was my
Perfect.
backup. And so she's sitting out of the car, and it was just, you know, had no idea what to expect. You walk up to the door, you knock on it, you have no idea what's going to open it. Now, I'm thinking a very slender, now it's a dude.
Okay, I'm sorry. So you're at the door.
I'm at the door
Okay.
knocking on it thinking, okay.
Take us through.
I'm knocking at the door. I think there's a wreath, and it's a dude, but 5'7", blonde hair, attractive. And the door opens, and what do I see? It looks like a rain barrel with legs, a little fat guy. He's got on a black corset, pulled real tight, so his man pecs are kind of up in the air.
Okay.
And then he's got on like a leather thong. And I'm like, what in the hell? I go, are you Crystal? Because he's got the, what do you call it?
Antlers?
No, Krusty the Clown hair.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the cornrows.
Huh?
The cornrows?
No,
the
sticking out the side.
He's bald with hair poking out
Yeah.
past the
Yeah.
ears.
Oh, gotcha.
And I'm like, okay, I know it's supposed to be a dude, but I'm extremely disappointed in what I'm seeing. No. He goes, Crystal, I think it's Ray. So I walk in. And then Crystal comes around the corner. And then Crystal's picture, I don't know if she used filters. She didn't look as good as she did in the picture.
So you were catfished.
A little,
That's what they call it
I
now,
would say a little
catfishing.
bit. It was more of a, hey, that's a hillbilly hilljack with the wig on. It looks like he needs to eat a sandwich.
Okay, that's false advertising.
Yes,
is what that is.
But Crystal had a very sweet smile and had very nice disposition.
See?
So they had
go.
me come in,
Right.
and I forgot to tell you earlier, but they had a dog. So they had me come in. They set me on the couch
Okay.
in the black leather, and then I got sweet Crystal sitting to my right, and then they had the dog come up, and the dog immediately starts slobbering into my crotch area, sniffing and stuff.
Okay.
Is he looking for a wire?
It was trained. Yeah. It was,
He's
So-
a wire sniffing
So
dog.
they just start talking about inane stuff, and then they get on the topic of, well, you know, Ray, if you go down to Methodist Hospital, they will castrate you for like $50 or $100. You can get that procedure.
wait a minute. How do you go? Go ahead, Andy. I mean, Adrian.
That is that's some weird chatter.
I know.
They come out with that.
Exactly. You know,
I've opened with a lot of things, but I've never opened with, hey, you want to go get them cut off?
Right.
I mean, you know,
Right.
they were talking about that, but they want to talk about cutting off the nuts.
Okay. Well,
So.
they weren't football players.
No, so I was going with what they're saying. And then the dude next to me, he seemed a little bit more morose and sinister. And I said something to him. He goes, you know, Ray, I'm a transsexual Nazi. And I'm like, memo to me, do not fuck with this dude. I said, that's good to hear. Oh, yes.
He just came out with
He goes,
that.
I'm a transsexual Nazi.
Okay.
I'm like, all right. I don't know what that means or how you act to be a transsexual Nazi. He didn't explain. He just made the statement.
Do you think he might have known the guy from Pulls a Chain?
He could have. You know what? I didn't
Just
see him
saying.
in the same room together.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So now we're just talking about all this shit, and the dog's still slobbering on me. And then I could see
So
them.
can I, wait a minute. Can I back up and ask a quick question?
Yeah.
About how you arrived at the cutting them off. Did it at least have anything to do with maybe the dog being neutered? You brought that up.
No, nothing.
Nothing.
That was boom.
I'm trying to help these guys.
We went from I like eggnog to hey, get your nuts cut off.
I mean, and then he follows it up with I'm a Nazi.
Yeah.
That's a lot of stuff going on.
That's a lot of information that I don't want to hear about.
There were so many red flags. I thought I was at a Chinese airport. I was like, oh my God, this is nuts. Is that going to have to be edited?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I mean, you know.
But anyways.
I was at Assembly Hall.
Yes, there you go.
Red flag, right.
There we go. Yeah. So they're looking up at the clock. And then they see that I see that they're looking up at the clock. And why are you guys looking at the clock? And they don't say anything. They don't say anything. And a few minutes later, they look at each other. And they go, it's been 15 minutes. And I go, what's been 15 minutes? They go, well, you've been sitting here for 15 minutes. I said, okay. And it has not been that pleasant of a 15 minutes. It's been quite scary. And I said, so why is that relevant? And they go, well, if you were a police officer, if you were sitting in here 15 minutes, they wouldn't know what he was doing. So we've been told your backup would be coming into the house wanting to know what's happening to you. And I'm like, oh my God, no, don't be, Kevorkian and start chopping me up.
Yeah.
And so.
Kevorkian.
Wow, I haven't heard that in a long time.
Anyways, so I said,
yeah, it was Dahmer, not Kevorkian.
But hey,
let's get our serial killer straight. We're sorry if we offended you. Sorry, the ghost of John.
Somewhere in
Wayne
a prison
Gacy.
cell, someone's going, no, you fucked that up. That's not, I did that.
Yeah.
My name's not Kevorkian.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
All right. Well, if you're mad, remember that was Super 8.
Oh, okay.
It was not J. It was not A-Train.
Okay.
Right.
So where were we? We cutting off nuts. Liked eggnog. Wait a minute. We were where? 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
15 minutes.
Yeah.
So anyways, and I'm like, oh, okay. And they said, well, we know you're not the police because your backup's not coming in. So, Ray, are you ready to have fun? And I go, yes, I am. I was a little tentative because, there's what they thought was fun seemed very excruciating, painful to me.
Right.
So they said, follow us up the stairs. So first goes the Nazi transsexual, and then goes Crystal, and then followed by me, and my head's hanging. I'm like, man, I feel like I'm crossing some sort of weird threshold.
You don't know what's behind
I don't
that
know
door.
I don't know what's going on. And remember, I don't have a gun because you get searched in these places.
Of course. Right.
And so I'm walking up the steps, and they go to the bedroom, and the Nazi transsexual, he goes in, and he grabs this old boom box, it looked like it was from like the 80s.
Okay.
And he starts playing this weird ass techno music, and I'm like, what the fuck? And so he gets up and starts dancing.
That's what they play in East German discotheques.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, like
Yeah.
sprockets.
Yeah.
We've
Sprockets.
Yeah, we already dealt with that.
Did you pet a monkey?
No, no, I didn't. But anyways,
Oh.
Oh.
so this dude's up there dancing, the ugly one. And so Crystal looks at me and goes, Ray, you need to get comfortable. So if you've worked Vice in our hometown where we worked, we all knew what get comfortable meant. That meant you got to get naked, because if you got naked, then they were really sure you weren't the police.
Right.
So
The ultimate cop test.
the ultimate cop test.
Right.
And so I'm like, oh my God. So I had to disrobe, and he goes, Ray, lay on the bed.
Wait a minute. Naked?
Oh yeah.
Naked?
Yeah, I just come out.
Naked.
I just come out of the birth canal.
All right.
Naked.
If I had fart stains in my underwear, everybody would know. So,
Well, now everybody does know.
yeah. So, anyways, so he goes, get on the bed. So, right now, what I have to have him do, because he hasn't set a price,
Right.
I've got to get him to agree to a price for some sort of sexual act.
Right.
And so I've got to throw out a price. He has to agree to it, or he has to do an overt maneuver in
Okay.
exchange for monetary
So I was going to say, at this point, where are you going to keep your money?
Yeah.
Well, yes.
Explain a little more the overt maneuver.
Yes.
Okay.
What's that mean?
Well, basically, if you make an offer, agree, or perform a sex act for money, you're guilty for prostitution in the city we protected. Mm-hmm. So I had to say a price. A price had to be out there.
Okay.
Prices have to be out there. And then he would either have to agree to it, or start performing an act. And this is where it's getting now we're on a slippery slope that's extremely dicey.
It's dicey.
And we're on that razor's edge.
So
yes.
you're really hoping.
Yes, I don't want that overt act. I don't want anything that's an overt penetration act. Anything like that.
No.
So I'm laying on the bed. The Nazi transsexuals up there dancing to the weird techno music.
So are you laying on your back? Are you laying on your side with your hand propped up?
I think I'm laying a little bit
head?
more to my left side.
Seductively.
And then in a very provocative manner. And next thing I know, all of a sudden, Crystal starts reading. Now, he is just wearing like a bikini top and bikini shorts.
Okay.
Could you see it?
No. Okay. And I was mostly looking at his hand that started heading my way.
And the Nazi is dancing.
The Nazi's
to the techno
dancing,
music.
yeah, but he's about 8 feet away, and he's up on like a little riser of some sort. So he's up on stage.
Oh, this.
And I'm like going, and see, your head is going 1,000 miles an hour. And your brain's going 1,000 miles an hour. You got to be safe. Now, does a Nazi guy, is he pulling out a bazooka and a swastika? What's happening with him? And what's happening over here? Does Crystal, do I not know that she might have a shiv and try to rob me?
Right.
So I'm worried about that. But then I just see, I'm laying there, and the Crystal, with the big smile on her face, starts moving in, and that hand starts coming at me. And it's like 3D. Coming at me, and I'm looking at it, and it's hairier than I would like.
Does it look anything like my hand?
Oh no, it was not quite that simian. So, anyways, he starts heading down to, and then he grabbed it, and I jumped up and pushed him off me, and I jumped up and I looked at him and I pointed at him and went, "Not gay."
Yeah, and not that there's anything wrong with that.
There was nothing wrong with that. I was just making a statement.
Yes.
Correct.
Part of the conversation.
Yes.
And the Nazi guy, he just kind of looked at me like, well, I'm going to continue dancing. I don't know what Ray's doing over there.
So I picture this dude. Did it look like he was like shadow boxing?
Yes.
Or what was the? Yeah.
Were you there? He was the gimp. He was the gimp in the box. Anyways. Oh, God. Is Jay in there? But anyways,
you caught me in one of my weekly visits over to see the fellas.
So anyways, Crystal looks at me extremely confused, and Crystal kind of looked like her heart was broken. Aww. And I said, Crystal, I'm sorry, but I'm the police, and I have to arrest you for prostitution. And she goes, oh, Ray, I'm sorry. He was like, I'm sorry, Ray. I go, well, you didn't do anything. Well, technically, you didn't anything. You did something wrong, but you didn't do anything heinous.
Right.
Which rhymes with anus, and nothing happened. And anyways, so the Nazi guy's still dancing.
Okay.
And I'm like, hey, stop dancing. And he looks over at me, and he still continues to dance and shadow boxing from the witness to my right. And and then I finally said, hey, I'm the police. Oh, you want to hear the police? No, me, police. If I had a badge, I would show it to you. And he goes, oh. So he turns off the tape. She goes, oh. Uh-huh. And so we all go downstairs. And then my backup, her name was Abby.
Okay.
And she was unbelievably perky all the time.
Yeah, she was.
She was very perky.
Yeah, she was sweet.
She was coming in. She was extremely sweet. She was so sweet, she would give you diabetes. And so she starts filling it out. And poor old Crystal and I said, Crystal, I'm not taking you to jail. I'm just writing you a summons. And then I said, Crystal, if you give me any information at all that can help with bettering your neighborhood around you, any problems with people selling drugs, blah, 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 blah. I will not turn this in. And Crystal was extremely very helpful and would call on me all the time. Superi, there's this problem over here. And I would say, I hope you have a Merry Christmas, Crystal. Thank you, Detective Superi. I appreciate you helping me out.
What about the Nazi?
I didn't see Colonel Coyne's secret anymore after that.
Yeah.
So, and then I talked to Crystal for probably about he would call me on the phone every 6 months and give me some tidbits of information, and then after a while, Crystal went off and did her own thing and never heard from her again. But bless her heart.
bless her heart, and that's what we're talking about.
That's what we're talking about.
That is the underlying theme of these vice investigations. I mean,
Yes.
it's obviously to get, prostitution off the street, but it's to get information.
Information to get the more serious and dangerous crimes that were affecting the neighborhood and the community.
Right. And you didn't break Crystal's heart.
I did not break Crystal's. Well, I kind of did.
Now, you're right. But you really would have broke her heart if you gave her that summons.
I had to go. I had to stop over there one time, and my current wife.
Whoa. No, Matt, let's back up. So you had to stop over.
I had to
and
stop.
see her.
I had to stop
Okay.
over and get some, and I had my current wife with me at the time, and Crystal saw her, and Crystal's little heart was broken because I said who this was, and he knew, and he was like,
Because he kind of thought maybe,
there might have been
maybe
You're
there's
telling
a
me.
chance.
You're telling me there's a chance.
Yeah.
But anyway, sorry, Crystal. I had to dash them hopes.
Right. Damn.
She probably moved on to the dude in the box.
You mean Jay?
Yes, that one.
Jay in a box.
Jay in a box.
Jay in a box. This is what's great is most shows of our nature, whatever you'd want to call it, if I asked about a Christmas episode, you know what you're going to get? Well, yeah, I locked up a dude in a Santa suit once, man. That's what I did. Always locking up the guy in the Santa suit.
Right.
That ain't where we go here.
No, we go straight to the debauchery.
God, we give you a Santa hat.
Yeah, we had
A
Santa.
Christmas story like that.
No.
I'm just going
No.
to say that. Yeah.
This is the diehard of Christmas stories.
Exactly.
It is.
People debate if Die Hard's a Christmas movie.
Oh, it's a Christmas
People are
movie.
going to debate whether or not this is a Christmas story. I say there is no debate.
There's no debate.
Yeah.
This is it. Definitely. This should be right up there with like the Peanuts Christmas and Frosty the Snowman
Right.
and the transsexual Nazi.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean,
yeah.
So,
he could have been on that iceberg with Rudolph.
could have been.
Misfits.
Yes. The Misfit
Well
toy.
done there.
Thank you.
A-Train.
Thank you.
All right.
Remember the Bumble that he pulled the teeth from? Is that the same one?
That's the Abominable Snowman.
Yeah.
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 There we go.
And how do you say that?
Bumbles.
That's a Abominable Snowman.
The abdominal snowman. Oh, that's great. That was a fantastic story.
And
All right.
I feel all kinds of Christmas cheer.
It was actually a little uplifting.
It was uplifting.
I thought it was going to kind of
Yeah.
be a downer, but
Yeah.
it was
No,
uplifting.
It was an upper. It was an
I
upper.
now we can just hope that Mrs. A-Train brings us down a bowl of eggnog. It's the only thing that could make this
So
better.
delicious.
Yes.
All right. Well, anything to add to that, Super E?
Negatory.
A-Train, how about you?
I feel like I'm filled with the Christmas spirit now.
All right.
Yeah. So Merry Christmas, everybody.
That's right. Have a Merry Christmas out there.
Exactly. Take us out, A-Train.
All right. See ya.